Hi, my name is Twana Williams. I was born and raised in Twiggs County, which is called Jeffersonville, Georgia. I am the proud daughter of Dr. Irene Bell and Apostle James Sinclair. And I'd have an additional bonus mom and dad, which is Lamar Bell and Brenda Sinclair. We are a great family. I have been blessed with a host of children. I have two that God allowed me to birth, which was Quangela O'Neill and Enricus O'Neill and Amaris Ridgway. And I have a host of stepchildren. I'm married to Twana Williams. He have gifted me with 5 kids, and we are an extremely happy family. I am currently working as a principal with low-income families. I have seen so many be blessed by my presence, just being able to help some that have not had an education, get their GED, maybe go further in college, become better parents, and it's just a joy to see. Also, I have several businesses that I have in the community, which I help with life coaching for those who need someone to just talk to. I think I'm a pretty reasonable person to talk to, very approachable, very comfortable to sit and speak with. I do try to help with children who need adopting, that doesn't have a home, that just need someone to just listen to them. A lot of times we don't have anyone in the community that will listen to our parents or our students or just children in general. I do work diligently in our church. I'm a youth pastor where I have been for many years, and I truly, truly enjoy it. Can I move my hands with that? Yes, I would love to do that because I really enjoy. I've seen so many have a foundation spiritually that help them out through the community, especially working with those who have been incarcerated. That said a lot of times that if it had not been for me bringing Beyond Your Expectations Services, which is my company, they would have probably committed suicide or just different things. But learning to identify who they are, learning to deal with who they are, and then accepting who they are, this have really helped a lot of our community. Also, I help with housing different businesses, those who have very low credit, never would have had a chance to even put their business out in the community. They have a chance now because God has put us in a place that we're able to help those who don't have any type of credit. So we help a lot in the community, and it is such an honor and a privilege to do so. My career path was supposed to be a lawyer. I always knew that I was, and I'm just going to be transparent. I grew up being a great liar. I loved telling lies that made, even if it wasn't true, I just made it feel good. So I decided that I wanted to be a lawyer. And because I saw so many lawyers that was not truthful. But then for some reason, my career path turned and I wanted to become an educator. And I found myself being an educator unawarely. My sister was in the process of doing an interview and she took too long in the interview. And I walked into place and I said, "What's taking so long?" And had a little attitude. And the lady said, "She's on her way out." But for some reason, I was like, "Well, this taking too long." And she was like, "Do you work?" I was like, "No." She was like, "Do you want a job?" I was like, "Yes." And that particular day started my career as a teacher, and I became an after-school teacher. And from there, it grew. And the good part about that particular time is that where I am now, I see the parents that are actual judges, and they're working with me when I've helped their kids 30 years later. So that kind of stirred my career as an educator. Just to see the outcome of the students, the outcome of the parents, the outcome of my teachers. Sometimes just getting an education, I'm the principal, so the center manager, the boss, as they call me, the boss. I see my staff move up to another level. I coach them to say, you should be sitting in my chair one day, because this is not the end of my story. So even with my students, my parents, to see students come in that can't talk, that needs a plan, that needs some type of assistance, that needs to know that they may be dealing with autism, maybe dealing with behavior issues, it drives me to see that it can be accomplished. I like a challenge. So in order to do what I do, it takes a great team. The team that I have been given, we work closely together, we collaborate, we do different testing, we make sure monitoring is going on, we observe the kids. I come in and I can probably within 2 seconds, where it would take you 4 weeks, 2 seconds, I'm like, little Johnny needs a plan. Little Sarah needs some help emotionally. Because a lot of times people think that our kids can't talk or they don't know anything. It's just that they need a little boost here, there, and maybe just saying, baby, what's the matter? That passion, it's a gift. And not only that I know that it's a gift, it was birthed out of me by my children. Quangela is a special ed teacher, and it's a gift, a passion that has been given, and it came from my parents. If you do not have the right team, you'll find yourself worn out. So doing it alone is not an option, because you're gonna miss something. Not only will you miss something, that child, that parent, or whoever, whatever stakeholders you may be dealing with, they're gonna miss something, because you're gonna be doing too much, which is not enough for what's needed for the actual circle to be completed. I think it's important that we work with the parents also, because a lot of times we give the student a plan and we work it there at the school, or like even in church, we work the plan, we give them some type of incentives to make sure that they're trying to change. But if their environment that they go back to is the same, it's very hard for that child to stay and remain stable. So what we do, we try to bring the parent in as a team, as we have different people outside as our partners, to say, parent, this is what we're implementing in the school or in church or even in the community, and this is what we would like for you to do. And a lot of times parents are so overwhelmed that they don't even realize that they are part of the problem. So a lot of times we bring the parents in so that they know that if you can help us do this, we can get Sarah, who's 4 and needs to be potty trained, potty trained. If you have a little bit more patience to sit and read and say one-on-one words, we'll get them speaking a little bit more. Communication is very valuable. Communication is very important to not only the parent, but the child. So if you don't realize that as a parent, that child can't speak or little Johnny can't hear, you would never know that this right here can't change until you could get him some help. And then a lot of times our parents just need to be guided. Well, I have one in particular. When I first met her, she was, oh my God, she was so mad with me, but didn't know me. She was cursing, she was just everything and calling me all kinds of names. Until one day I decided to talk to her and I say, what is the problem? Why are you, whatever. She said, it looks like you think you better than everybody. I said, no ma'am, I'm hands on. I said, I love people. And we began to talk that particular day and I asked her, I said, well, what is it that you think I have that you don't have? She said, I don't have a degree, I don't have a diploma, I have nothing but kids and I'm pregnant again. We began to talk and to see, and actually she just called me a few weeks ago and she didn't have her GED. She went and got her GED, went further to get some more credits in college, and she called me the other day and she said, Miss Williams, guess what? Me and my husband is working for the city now. Stuff like that make my heart happy, because it could have went another way. I could have been like, we about to go at it, because there's another professional ghetto side of me. So I'm like, you're going to get it. But I didn't go there. I just decided to say, what is it? So a lot of times if we take time to understand that there's something else going on with the person, we'll be able to get to what's going on in our community. And the kids, well, actually one of them became my goddaughter. She asked me to be the goddaughter of the baby that she was pregnant with. I've seen where they actually work together as a family. One of the little boys that she had was acting out because mom was acting out. Mom had not settled down to see what was inside of her that she can better. So once we had that conversation, she was able to calm down, talk to her kids, have family time with her kids. I even see sometime on social media where they're going out having, just a family gathering and saying, this is vacation now, this is time. And she learned how to budget so that she could, spend more time with them. Well, in general, a lot of people don't know that before you get to an adult, anger, emotional distress, social discomfort starts when you're small. I've been able to see that even at 6 months, our babies are being put on 504s because they are already being identified to have anger problems. And when I first got in it, I didn't want to accept it. But when I saw it for myself that the anger is so prevalent in our babies. If we don't handle it now, it grows up in them. One particular person or one particular child that I'm thinking of, I remember him being a baby. And I've watched him 1, 2, 3 grow up, and it got worse because the parents don't want to identify that he's angry. There's something going on. I tell them all the time, I said, sometimes you don't realize that our kids are coming off a high. Parents are smoking around them. They're drinking around them. They're thinking it's funny that I could curse you out, I can raise sand with you, I can fuss with you, and it's all right, and it's not affecting little Johnny. But it affects our kids. So if we don't realize that in this society that everything that you do now affects the future of others, it's going to continue to be a problem in our community. Being honest is vital because if you don't identify the problem, it grows, it gets worse. And when you find a person who cannot accept honesty and the truth, you're dealing with a dangerous person because it gets worse, it doesn't get better. My advice to the community would be to let's join forces together to understand our community, what's really going on in the community, how can we assist, how can we help, and not to be a judge of the community, of just standing in judgment to find out people's business, but to actually find out what's the root cause of a lot of problems that's actually having to do with our young Black men and just as many problems with our young Black women. I've seen a lot of Black women lately being locked up, and my mind is like, we usually have it where it's the guys, but just as many ladies is being locked up just like the guys. I've looked at a lot of my parents. Some of them are being locked up, and they're ladies. And I'm like, what can we do to help our community with the ladies also? I think importance of the mindset is that people must be, as you stated earlier, being honest. Being honest with yourself to know that I'm not able to handle finances. I'm not able to handle a relationship. I'm not able to handle a job because I still got either play in me, or I got where I'm still lazy, or I don't want to work as hard as the next person have worked to make sure that whatever's going on in the future is going to happen and it's good. So I think being focused, a lot of people can't stay focused. People can't be accountable to what has to happen. Building the business that I've worked so hard being young to build a business. I went and revamped some things for this year to make sure that it's legit, not doing things from a side hustle and then it's not legit. I want my stuff to be legit. So being able to hear conversation for someone that has gone further than I have and not thinking that I know it all is very vital. So if my business is going to go forward, I must be able to hear somebody else who have already landed and probably coming out of where I'm trying to go.